See this guy? This is Charles Durning, who plays Otis Hazelrig in Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Watch this movie, and you're going to hate Otis by the end of it. Why? Let's start at the beginning. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow opens with Bubba and Mary Lee picking flowers in a field. Bubba is mentally disabled and has the same mentality as a child. That's why he's best friends with Mary Lee. However, some of the locals don't like this fact. They hate Bubba and like to beat him up and teach him a lesson. But now, Otis is taking things too far, trying to convince his friends to kill Bubba. While walking home, Mary Lee sneaks into someone's backyard. She's goofing around, and suddenly the family dog shows up, and it's not happy she's there. The dog attacks. Bubba tries to help, but he thinks she died. Bubba takes Mary Lee back to her mom and runs back to his house. Now the town thinks Bubba killed the girl. This is enough for some of the town to join in on Otis's manhunt. 4 guys, Skeeter,
Hey, Doug.
Philby, Hawker, and Otis set out to kill Bubba. They track him down to his house, where his mom has hidden him. She won't let the men into her home, but the dogs are leading the men into the field, where they only find a scarecrow. But on closer inspection, it's Bubba hiding. The men step back and open fire, killing Bubba. As soon as they're done, they get a call over the radio saying the manhunt is off and the girl is fine, and Bubba actually tried to save her life. Oops, I guess you shouldn't have been judge, jury, and executioner. Otis plants a pitchfork so they can claim self-defense. And that's exactly what they do. And they get away with it too. But the district attorney, Sam Willock, is suspicious. The men think they got away with it, and we see them all living out their day-to-day lives. But we know they're gonna get it. It's kinda cool because you know this is foreshadowing on how these guys are gonna go. Take Hawker for example. One day he's cleaning his wood chipper and he sees a scarecrow in his field. Later that night he goes into his barn to find the wood chipper is on. Thinking it's the attorney messing with him, he goes up into the loft to catch him. But he slips and, yep, you guessed it, falls right into the wood chipper. The guys get together and are more than a little nervous. They aren't sure who it could have been that killed Hawker. Some think it's the attorney, some think it's Bubba's mom, and still others think it could have been Mary Lee. Later, at a Halloween party, Otis corners Mary Lee. They don't really say it, but it's kind of insinuated that he wants to do some bad things to her. I told you were gonna hate him. Mary Lee tells Otis she knows that they killed Bubba, because he told her everything. Otis obviously doesn't believe Mary Lee and thinks it's Bubba's mom, so he pays her a visit. He tries to threaten her, but instead kills her by giving her a heart attack. He turns the gas on the stove on and blows her house up. Next, it's Philby's turn. He too works on a farm. At night, his pigs are going hog wild. He hears a noise coming from a corn silo. When he goes to check it out, it's just a chain. But then, there's someone in his office. He hides inside the silo until it's safe. But then he tries to get out, and he can't. The door is locked, and the silo slowly fills up with corn, killing him. Now, this is a pretty dumb way to go. I'm pretty sure he died of a heart attack, but if you can stay calm, couldn't you just stand on top of the corn? I mean, it would take hours to fill it. Surely someone would check in on you before it gets to the top. I don't know. I've never been hunted down by a bloodthirsty scarecrow before, but being covered in corn would be a pretty bad way to go. Now there are only 2 left, Otis and Skeeter, and they need to know who is killing their friends. To make 100% sure it's not Bubba, they dig up his grave. Sure enough, his body's still in there. Skeeter freaks out and wants to go to the police, thinking that it's better to be in jail than being dead. Otis agrees, but something's up. When they go to fill back in the hole, yep, Otis kills Skeeter too. Thinking he's going to get away with everything, Otis is driving home when he sees Mary Lee standing in the middle of the road. She's a creepy girl. He takes his mail truck off-road and wrecks. Mary Lee leads him into a pumpkin patch where a bulldozer turns on and starts chasing Otis, opening its jaws like it's going to eat him. The bulldozer chases him until he runs right into a Scarecrow holding a pitchfork, finally ending the reign of Otis. And the Scarecrow hands Mary Lee a flower, confirming it was indeed Bubba. In the end, Bubba got his revenge, and although I think a wood chipper would be the worst way to go, Otis still got what he had coming. Dark Night of the Scarecrow ended up being a made-for-TV film and came out right around Halloween. I'd say it's the perfect movie to watch during the spooky season. Not only is it a horror film, but it's also got a Halloween party and a pumpkin patch. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more gore, but they were focusing on atmosphere over anything else, and that's fine. The story isn't anything new, it's just your classic revenge plot, but it's handled really, really well. You care for Bubba and his family, and you absolutely hate Otis and all the other bad guys. Honestly, I would say this is an underrated gem. Watch it and you'll be pleasantly surprised. I give Dark Night of the Scarecrow 3.5 angry old mailmen out of 4.